Hey guys, Dreams here again. This is going to be What If Luffy Was Immortal? The redo. Like I've said I'm doing a lot of videos. I may or may not redo some of them that I like or dislike, but no matter. So, we're going to start this What If off when Luffy is around, let's say 15. This one, Luffy, like in original, is Garp's brother and Dragon's uncle, not Garp's grandson and Dragon's son. He's Garp's younger brother by 1 year. Luffy would be 16, Garp would end up Luffy would be 15, Garp would end up being 16. And these two train forever and ever, because that's all they really do. They train, they hunt, they get money. That's really it. Eventually, when Luffy is around 19, and Garp would be 20, and Luffy would find a Devil Fruit on a pirate ship that came to Fuchsia Village, and they'd be terrorizing folks. So Luffy and Garp, being basically the best dynamic duo in the series currently, obliterate those pirates, and then they had a Devil Fruit on board, and Luffy just eats it thinking it was normal food, and it looked interesting, so he ate it. Garp didn't know what it was, but Luffy had it. Now about the scar on Luffy's eye, because that does play some significance. What really happened was Luffy and Garp were training and began using weapons, and Garp slashed at Luffy, and well, the blade kind of just did that curve on Luffy's eye. Anytime Luffy had to punch Garp in the face as hard as possible, cracking his face open a bit, and making that weird scar on Garp's face. But now we go over to, just when Luffy becomes a pirate. He becomes a pirate when he's 20 years old, and Garp is not in the Marines yet, because Garp will be 21. You can push join the Marines at 22. Luffy sails around, gathering just miscellaneous people for his crew, and none of them are really strong. They come from all ragtag pirates, and these people act like, well, the stereotypical pirate. Want money, terrorize people, that's really it. Luffy has a different ideal for a pirate, but these people were some people he grabbed off like a whim. But eventually, when they get to the Grand Line, they're immediately wiped out, and he's the only survivor who actually was able to compare to these Grand Line pirates. Luffy is already a beast in his own right, and I guess you could say he's built different because you suddenly come across a strong crew. Well, Luffy wipes them out single-handedly. And Luffy already rocked a straw hat. So, yeah, here Garp bought it for him, and Luffy just wears it ever since. Well, he's worn it ever since. But now we go over to, I guess, just, what do I say it? I guess we go to how he meets Whitebeard's crew. Well, he'd meet Roger's crew first probably. So, Luffy at this point is 20. It's been 2 years since his crew. I guess he's 22. Garp be 23. And these two, well, Luffy's making his own careers like a solo pirate. And has been dominating Marines, pirates, and been dominating Marines, bandits, everyone left and right. The hands are for everyone. Eventually, Luffy does come across Garp and Sengoku and Sudor on a ship. When Garp saw Luffy just sailing around on some pirate crew ship, he saw this pirate crew had been hunted by the Marines, so they had bounties for the 100 millions. But when Garp goes above deck constantly, and the Marines already fire upon Luffy, seeing him as the captain, Garp immediately yells, "No, stop!" Everyone freezes immediately, asking why Garp said that, because he's one of the lower-ranking members of the crew, and Sengoku's questioning it. Garp says, "That's not the captain, it's my idiot younger brother." Immediately froze, asking if Garp's brother is like the lead of the crew. Garp says, "No, my brother's crew was wiped out a long ass time ago. So what he's been doing is just destroying pirate crews and marine ships and everyone else left and right." Garp pulls up your brother's money poster, being at 150 million. Well, the crew he wiped out was already well over 300. Well, Sengoku didn't really care, jumped up, and I don't know how old he was when he got his Buddha fruit, but I assume he's had it for a while. So he goes into his Buddha form and goes to shoot shockwave at Luffy. Luffy already didn't grasp observation hockey just through so many fights. He was able to dodge this and run around Sengoku's arm, kind of grab him by his afro, and then body slam him right into the water. And Luffy could tell this was Delphi user because he's encountered a few of them. So he picked up Sengoku kind of by his afro, then threw him in the water, and Luffy then landed on the boat. Luffy's aware of his immortality by now. He's had a few run-ins with at least one arm hockey, not a few, but at least one or two arm hockey user run-ins, and he's had a few scratches and everything. More than normal people have just scratched him, and those scratches weren't too bad, so they've healed. So Sengoku's drowning, Suru then attacks Luffy. Luffy proceeds to lay the hands on Suru disrespectfully, and Luffy proceeds to beat the living hell out of every single person on Garp's ship until it comes to Garp himself. Sengoku. While Luffy and Garp fight, Sudori helps up Sengoku, and the fight between the two brothers wages on for days on end. By the time more Marine ships come in for backup, Garp had already yelled for them to retreat, while Luffy destroys them in just a rage. Because Luffy, well, he's pissed. His dreams of becoming a pirate were shattered in not that long, and he's taking that rage out on the world. By the time he's done with Garp, Luffy fueled by rage, Garp fueled by trying to discipline his brother. Well, Luffy's rage was stronger, and Luffy's slight healing factor kicked in a lot more. So with that, Luffy beat Garp, and Luffy walks off the boat, not even upset, but just feeling bad that he almost killed his brother. Because if he wanted to, he could have. But he didn't, because brother. With that, Luffy's bounty is shot right up to be around 340 million. They're trying to cover up what he did to the Marines. They're not going to give him a super high bounty. Well, 340 million is pretty high, but they're trying to cover up the rest of what he did. And they kind of just say, oh, just some Marines versus a pirate fleet. And that's really it. But yeah, so around a month later, Luffy's just sitting on a random island eating some food, when suddenly he sees some guy with axes, some fishmen, and random people fighting. They're fighting just a random crew. Luffy can tell these are pirates. Eventually, Luffy sees Roger about to jump out of the trees with his cutlass and about to slash down on one of the guys who's already down on the ground. But, well, Luffy would let this happen, but the guy's already beaten. So it's not going to let him be beaten already again. So, yeah, pause real quick. So, basically, Luffy not wanting to see this guy who's already down be killed or beaten again, Luffy just jumps up and kicks Roger in the ribs full force, sending him flying through the forest. Everyone watched this and was shocked that Roger was sent flying by some no-name who just appeared out of nowhere. And he thought that guy wasn't the captain, that was on the ground. The guy didn't think that guy was the captain, and immediately thought it was Luffy. But they were caught off guard, and the guy says, "Hey, who the hell are you? I didn't ask for your help." Luffy landed, saying, "Shut up, you already got your ass handed to you. You don't need to have it handed to you again." Scopper Gabon, and I have like the whole sheet of their names. I'm gonna go find that. Okay, so Luffy Scopper Gabon and Seagull Nosdon, or Seagull Guns Nosdon, would run out Luffy, Nosdon being the fishman, Scopper Gabon being the third strongest in the crew. Those two rush at Luffy, but in response, he dodges Gabon's attacks and proceeds to wail on him rapidly until he's unconscious. And Luffy proceeds to dodge every attack from Nosdon, then kick him in the side of the head, full force, like Mikey does to everyone else, and knocks him out immediately. Now, Roger landed right next to Rayleigh. Rayleigh's kind of waiting at the ship, and Rayleigh's like, "Huh? The hell, you got kicked that far?" And Roger then says, "I told that guy's not part of the crew. This guy's just someone random who's on the island." Rayleigh and Roger approach Luffy, hoping the crew's okay, because most of the crew had heard some fighting going on, and they went to see if everyone's okay. Well, by the time they approach, they see Luffy holding up a few people by their heads, and looks at Rayleigh and Roger, saying, so I guess there's just two of you left. And dashes towards them, and ready for a fight, and the fight waged on for 3 hours. Luffy lost, of course. Rayleigh stabbed Luffy through the chest and almost killed him, because it was almost in the heart, but Rayleigh didn't have hockey, so it didn't do a thing. Over time, it would heal. But, yeah. So basically, Roger already put up a good fight against Luffy, and Luffy's already pretty tired from that. But then Rayleigh went behind and stabbed Luffy, because he already got beaten up. So eventually, after Luffy lost, Roger and his crew made the other ones leave after robbing them. And Luffy woke up. Roger asked who the hell Luffy is. Luffy explains he's a nobody who beats up people for fun. Now, immediately Scopper Gabon points out who Luffy is, saying, "You shot at Luffy. You have one of the highest bounties. Well, you have one of the highest bounties coming from the East Blue." He sighs, nodding, saying, "And so what? Who the hell are you guys?" I say, "We're the Roger Pirates." Or Roger says, "They're the Roger Pirates, and I'm the captain, Goldie Roger." He sits up, saying, "Goldie Roger." He says, Yeah, what's your name?" Besides Monkey, not Monkey, but besides Luffy. He says, "Monkey D. Luffy." He stands up, and that's when Roger says, I fought a guy a while ago by the name of Monkey D. Garp. Do you know him? He goes, "That's my jackass older brother. He's a Marine, I'm a pirate, and so. I really don't want to trust Luffy immediately, because he's related to a Marine, But Luffy proved he wasn't just like some, like, let's say he proved somehow that he wasn't a Marine spy. Eventually, Roger offered Luffy a place on his crew. Luffy thought Roger's pretty cool, and while being with the Roger Pirates, he quickly got out of his little funk. Over the next few decades, I guess 20 years, not 20, like around like 10, almost 20 years, he proceeds to beat down crews alongside Roger, and learning armament hockey and everything. And Luffy eventually discovers Conqueror's spirit, and when him and Garp clash and everything, well, Garp got stronger alongside Luffy. As they keep fighting, Luffy began using Conqueror's hockey against Garp began using his. Those two fought, and that was a battle for the century. These two kept on fighting, and eventually this happened on God Valley when the Rock's crew arrived. The Rock's crew got there last because they wanted a chance to wipe out the strongest Marines and the strongest pirate crew, or strongest pirate crew rivaling them. Well, not really rivaling them, but strongest crew that could pose a threat. So Kaido, Big Mom, Rocks, Wang Ji, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm wrong crew. I'm gonna check. So basically, it would just be Rocks, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, John, Silver Axe, and Ochiku. Yeah, that crew. They proceeded to attack Luffy with some pirate crews who didn't really respect Rocks, going to attack the Rocks pirates and the Marines. Now, Luffy is actually the one leading the battle with the Whitebeard pirates. With the Roger pirates, because he knows Garp the best, and these two are the most unstoppable duo there. They haven't fought side by side for a long time, but they're brothers, and they're strong together. So Luffy just put on a straw hat and just kind of mess with his head a bit, saying, "All right then, Garp, you ready?" Garp would nod, saying, "Pirate and Marine team up." So this is something I never thought I'd ever say. Everyone's a little skeptical like this, saying, "Wait, we're team with these pirate scum?" Some of Roger's crew was like, "Are you really just gonna let both sides lose here to even worse pirates than us? We haven't done much. We haven't done anything evil unless someone provokes us. Those guys are the evilest bastards we've ever met. You have to admit that." The Marines saw the point and just shut their mouths, and then the fight begins. Luffy and Garp go for Rocks. Both are intercepted by Big Mom and Kaido and Whitebeard. While Whitebeard and Roger fight, then this will be Big Mom and Kaido versus Garp and Luffy. Kaido and Big Mom are abused, not even funny. Kaido gets the basic roundhouse kick from Luffy with an armor hockey infused kick. Armor hockey and Conqueror's infused kick, and with the force from it, immediately takes out Kaido. And Big Mom and Roger's crew was shocked, because they didn't think Roger's crew had someone this strong. We could take out Kaido with a single hit. So Luffy lands right on Kaido's head, and then just punches Big Mom right in the temple using Conqueror's hockey infused punch, knocking her out. Big Mom will try to use a weapon to avoid it, but Luffy's just sheerly too fast. By the time he lands, he looks at Garp, and then says, "All right, who you gonna take, Whitebeard or Rocks?" And that's when Garp just laughs, saying, "How about we let Roger and them take down Whitebeard? Me and you can take out Rocks." We just nodded, and those two began attacking Rocks. As they begin fighting, it's a little too hard. So as they keep on trying, this means I don't know. But as they fight, Rocks is able to take down Luffy, and it's kind of just, Rocks is stronger than Luffy, and Garp is, Luffy's basically stronger than Roger, stronger than Garp, because Garp doesn't know Conqueror's hockey infused attacks. So yeah. Now eventually, as Luffy and Garp keep trying, eventually Rock's able to beat them, but not coming out with a few bruises, scratches, anything else. Now Roger and his crew were able to get away from Whitebeard and beat him then get away, because, But they see Luffy and Garp on the ground, panting and sweating, Garp unconscious, Luffy panting, sweating, and bleeding everywhere. Slowly healing, but not a lot, because some of these wounds were not armor hockey infused, but most of them were. But yeah, so we go to basically Roger and Ridley have been trying to help. And this means basically Roger tries to help up Luffy as Ridley and them fight. Luffy's able to gain some stamina. This leads to just Luffy just joining in the fight. As they join in, they keep fighting they keep fighting Rocks, and they win. As they win, eventually Rox is just beaten to death, or ganged up on, then beaten to death. And yeah. So as Rox is dead, they look at the rest of the Marines and the other half of the crew, that's of Rox's crew. Big Mom and Kaido are just down for the count from Luffy. Whitebeard did get back up, and then him and Garp fought once Garp got back up, and Garp obliterated Whitebeard. Just through sheer stronger arm and hockey, that's really it. Then Cheeky was taken down just by tons of gunshots. He's not dead, but he's done. And then the other famous landing swans are down themselves. So, yeah. Once this fight is over, the Marines, they do try to arrest the Roger pirates, but Garp's like, no, we're heading back. If someone put up a fight, we're going to lose. They're a lot stronger. They're stronger than me, Sengoku, Zoro. Name them, they're stronger. The Marines take their half loss, I guess, and they retreat. But yeah. Now, as they all end up leaving, the Roger Pirates can use this as a victory, a double victory mainly. Luffy can take this as a loss because he needed help to beat up. Well, needed help from his brother, and they failed. He needed help from his crew, but then he was out for around half that fight, so he kind of thought of it as a personal loss. But more Marines were incoming as Garp tried to leave, and he did just yell out to Luffy, and Luffy and his crew had to pack up and leave. Luffy didn't feel really too good leaving Whitebeard there because he's the only one that seemed genuinely good. So with that, he picks up Whitebeard and looks at Roger's crew, saying, "We can make one exception this time. But I'll pay for it in beatings, money, food, or something later." He comes on the boat, they land. Whitebeard just leans up against the mast, and Luffy leans up against the wall, and they sail away. Luffy only left Kaido and Big Mom because, well, Big Mom sucks, Kaido's an ass, and Rox is dead, and Cheeky's an ass. We don't know about John, Silver Axe, or anyone else. Yeah. Now, we go over to, I guess, just they stop on a random island. They stop at a random island to recover, and this island has a lot of food on it. Whitebeard realizes he's tied to a tree, but, well, he's just still eating. Well, Luffy them eating. Pause real quick. So Whitebeard looks at the Roger Pirates as eating food, as Rock manages, not Luffy. There's like a few stitches, and that's really it. So Luffy's notices Whitebeard's awake, and then to give him a giant bowl of Oden. Luffy's Oden not as good as, well, Kozuki Oden's Oden, but it's Oden. I said Oden a lot, including now. But he gives some to Whitebeard, and with that he pulls out, makes enough room for Whitebeard's his arms to get out, but not enough room to escape. Whitebeard's a little confused, but just eats it, and that's Luffy always being so nice. Luffy explains his observation hockey is a little in tune with emotions, and he's able to hear voices of different things and creatures. And that, combined with his insane observation hockey, well, he's able to somewhat tell that Whitebeard hates his crew, but is only on there because of some unknown circumstance. So Luffy assumes it may have been a bet, or he lost a fight. This leaves Whitebeard chuckling, saying, "Alright then, you got me, lost a fight." Luffy doesn't want to hear the details, but just says, "Alright then, well, how about this? I'm kind of done being a pirate for a while. That fight opened up some new horrors for me. Luffy had seen more blood, guts, heads chopped off, more blood and gore than he's ever hoped to see in his life, and he needs a break from it. And the Roger Pirates equally felt the same, like they've seen too much. Some of them are getting in tune with new forms of hockey, so they need a training break regardless. With that's around 4 years of training that they're going to get all together. When those 4 years commence, first year, Luffy heads back to the same island as Whitebeard, the Sphinx Island. And when fast forward all the way up to around, let's say, a year before Roger and Whitebeard meet Oden. So we're not going to get that far before because, well, Luffy temporarily retired from being a pirate, but he was still known around to beat up pirates, Marines, everyone. Luffy, during this time, also developed an immunity to alcohol, disease, everything. Immunity to poison, disease, alcohol, poison, I guess that kind of stuff. Just anything that would weaken his body internally. He's able to get an immunity to that. Now, with that, Luffy and Whitebeard are still kind of sailing around, but Luffy isn't really known as a fighter to the crew. if he's taking a nap on the crew or drinking and someone interrupts him, he immediately just comes out and begins taking down the whole ship himself. And the Whitebeard crew doesn't know Luffy is not someone to fuck with if he's cranky, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work out well for anyone. And no one really knows, well, no one really knows how old Luffy really is. So because no one knows how old he is, it's kind of weird. Because Luffy looks like he's in his early 20s, late teens. In reality, he's in his 40s. So, yeah. So, ditto Luffy kind of just looking very young. A lot of older members of the crew do not treat him with respect. To Whitebeard says, "Oh, he's older than me." So they're a little stunned by this, but well, if Pop says it's true, then it's true. And to tease, like when people hear that Luffy's older than Whitebeard, they tease him by not calling him Pops, but Grandpa or Old Man. So it's just pretty funny to them. Luffy doesn't really care, but it's okay. So Luffy just proceeds to sit around with the Whitebeard crew. Immediately they come across Kozuki, Oden, and Wano. Luffy and Oden get along immediately, and, well, Oden teaches Luffy how to make Oden. And as they keep getting along, well, Luffy, when Whitebeard says Oden can't get on the crew, Luffy is yelling at Whitebeard saying, "Hey, you owe me! I saved your life, I saved everything about you. You wouldn't even be a pirate right now, and these guys would still be random wannabe pirates if it weren't for me." The crew did not know that Luffy saved Whitebeard's life, and they used to be enemies. No one knows that. Luffy begins yelling this crap about Whitebeard. Marco needs to be backing down from the decision of saying, "Sir, we should just let him have this one." And Whitebeard getting embarrassed for his whole crew and tries to stand his ground. Luffy keeps yelling at him and embarrassing him. Because Whitebeard will get the hell beat out of him by Roger, then Garp. Well, first Roger's whole crew, then Garp. And a few times from Luffy, because Whitebeard was being just circled as hell. So Whitebeard was put in his place by every single person that Luffy was somewhat friends with. With that, when Whitebeard began yelling at Luffy yelled back, even of course he conquers upon Whitebeard. And Luffy's conqueror spirit was a lot more dominant than anything Whitebeard's ever experienced besides rocks. So with that, well, Whitebeard kind of just surrenders. So, yeah. He gives up saying, "Alright then, here's one of the many favors I owe you." And then, well, Whitebeard allows Oden to join the crew. Luffy looks at the rest of Oden's guards saying, "If you guys want to, you guys can join along." He owes me a shit ton of favors. You guys joining can be part of it. Some of us do join. It actually somehow includes Kinemon, Izo, and Kiku. Other ones are like, no, you guys can't join. But this leads to Nekomamushi and Inuyarashi, or Inuarashi. They join as well. So yeah, now Luffy has a cutlass, gets like a memento from Roger, and Roger had like an old one, and he gave it to Luffy, and Roger now still uses Ace. And so Oden sails with the crew for a while. They meet Toki, and then we're eventually going to when they meet Roger again. So Luffy began just chilling out on the island as he was just Whitebeard and his crew, and as they docked on the island, well, while there. They were just kind of just chilling. They approached them, and a fight does break out. But instead of basically when Oden does rush in, Luffy's keeping pace with them, and yells, "You idiot! Don't rush in here! I feel weird pressure on here, and you shouldn't be running into that pressure." It was too late. Somehow Oden ran ahead of Luffy, and Oden sent flying into a tree. Luffy just sighs, saying, "You idiot!" Before Oden goes to the third tree, Luffy grabs him and says, "I know that unmistakable power anywhere, or unmistakable power anywhere." Luffy takes one more swig of sake, and takes one of Oden's swords, saying, "I don't need this for a bit." He runs he jumps from tree to tree, like Whitebeard did, and yells, "Roger, you bastard, it's been a long time." And everyone recognizes that yell, all the ones that were veterans of the crew. Shanks and Buggy look confused, so were a few new members, but Roger then yells, he would yell saying, "It's been a long time, my brother." And they clash swords using Conqueror's Haki infused attacks. Everyone's a little shocked by this, as basically the weather is changing on the island with how much Conqueror is being let out. Then everyone's shocked to see Luffy's pushing Roger's attack away. So now the conquest between Luffy and Roger. Well, Luffy's conquest is winning as Roger's sword is being put down. And then Luffy immediately cancels the attack, landing on the ground, telling everyone, don't fight. Everyone stops, and, well, everyone's a little confused. And, well, Roger and Scapper-Gabon, not sure what you mean. Rayleigh and Scapper-Gabon don't attack the Roger Whitebeard's crew on Luffy's request. And, well, no one else on Whitebeard's crew will attack because they're going to listen to Luffy. Whitebeard asks why until Luffy then says this. Roger, what the hell are you so weak? You mean you should be equals? Roger just says, because you're so strong, Luffy. You've been at the powerhouse for years. Luffy says, no, I've been babysitting the powerhouse. I'm not training him. But you should get strong. You should get stronger than me. Tell me why the hell you aren't strong yet. Whitebeard. Roger being getting nervous because Luffy's on the track of him, like Luffy's about to say, he's sick. Roger then says, it's none of your business. And Luffy then says, you jackass, you're probably sick or something. When Roger's crew immediately freezes, Rayleigh and Scapper-Gabon being the only ones that know. They began trying to just like say it's a lie. Luffy yells, "No, his hockey's weakening. You all saw that? I was pushing him back like it was nothing." And that's when let's say Shanks says, yeah, Luffy's facial expressions seem a little weird because the moment he clashed, he seemed happy. Then, guess not that long through, he just looked like very just sad. So, after something is wrong with you, and if you are sick, tell us. Roger got nervous and relented. I don't know what I mean, but gave in, saying, yeah, he's super sick. He's dying. So, yeah. Luffy felt a little bad about outing Roger like that. But instead of 3 days for fighting, well, it's meant to kind of just get everything that will get Luffy and Roger to catch up. That's really what the 3 days are for. And, well, Luffy also does take like the first day, they get everything updated from Roger. And then the next day, Luffy takes a liking to Shanks and Buggy and began training them somewhat. And this leads to, let's say Blackbeard joins in as well. So as they begin, just training, well, they get a lot stronger. All I can really say is just, well, they got cut up for a bit. So, eventually, Luffy just, I guess, well, he leaves with Oden, and then Oden and Toki, and, Rashi and Nekomamushi, and they keep on sailing the world, finding every single poneglyph. They get in numerous fights. The Big Mom, Luffy just abuses Big Mom like she's nothing. Like, the moment that fight starts, Big Mom's immediately nervous, not wanting to be punched inside the head by Luffy again. But she can't help it, as Luffy just punches her around like she's nothing, and her kids watch. She's like, oh, I didn't even know that being Big Mom up was possible. But they see Luffy abusing her left and right, to the point where she just begs for mercy. By the time Luffy lands, he just says, alright then, we'll be leaving now. What's your poneglyph? Tries to back up and fight immediately, but conquers Haki, and then with a few fists to the dome, she relents and gives Luffy the poneglyph. Now, Luffy, Roger, everyone else, they keep on sailing around. They get to Zou, Inarashi and Nekomamushi stay there. Luffy introduced to Momonosuke and Hiyori and Momonosuke as they're born. And then, sorry about that. They find the One Piece and everything. And when they find it, well, Luffy is just very impressed with himself. And Luffy does train up Momonosuke a bit. Like Luffy encourages, he says, Oden, kids get in the habit very young. If you want a strong future Shogun of Wano, then Momonosuke should start training with swords right now. So on the way back to Wano, they sail to Wano, like the beaches of Wano. All the way there, Momonosuke begins sword training with Luffy and Oden. And Momonosuke, Luffy does teach him little secret moves to unlock observation Haki. Future setting for later. When Nekomamushi, Inarashi, Hiyori, Momonosuke, Toki, and Oden, there's only a group of Wano, people from Wano that joined the Roger Pirates. Izo stay with Whitebeard, so does Kiku and everyone else. But eventually when they heard Oden taking back to Wano, they head back themselves. But yeah. Now we're just going to fast forward a few years. like a year or two, to Roger's execution. Luffy was just watching this from the shadows, and he did recognize Dragon. As Luffy ended up throwing a rock at Dragon's head, and Dragon immediately saw who it was, and got nervous because he didn't know his uncle was even alive. Because Garp doesn't know what Luffy Delph is. All he does know is that it heals Luffy. So Dragon can tell from how ageless Luffy is. Can probably tell it's from before some sort of immortality, not just healing. So he jumps up to the roof with Luffy and then talking for a bit and catching up. He explains he's here to honor his captain's death. Now, immediately when Roger is about to be executed, he does like, "Oh, I left all of it in one place." Or if he's about to say that, but suddenly Luffy just throws a rock at Roger's head, saying, "You idiot! I'll say it. Just die in peace." Roger just laughs, saying, "All right, then get it over with." Roger is in stabbed to the heart, and then other side of his chest. And Luffy then yells where like not the exact location, which says, "You left it all in one place. You guys want it? Come kill me and see what happens." And somehow someone manages to beat me. They don't give it to him. And I'll take you there personally. Beat me in a fight. I'll take you one piece personally. It's mainly people being throwing rocks. Some of them that brought guns. Like this, let's say there's someone were allowed to carry guns, firing at Luffy. But he's able to just throw rocks at the bullets, and bullets are just like they break on impact or just kind of just moved. But yeah. But now I guess we just go fast forward for the next few years. Luffy was aware of Rouge, and everyone else. Garp had told Luffy, and Garp was able to get Luffy some of a marine escort there. The marines that were old enough to remember what happened in God Valley, they respect Luffy enough to give him like an all-marine escort to that village. And the marines that were there were told to go away because they got word that the pregnant woman that's on this island got rid of the baby. And the one submitted something like, "Oh yeah, I got rid of the baby." So the marines take the word for it because no pregnant woman has been identified as someone of Roger's baby mama. So yeah, and Rouge doesn't look pregnant. Now the marines leave, leaving Garp and Luffy there, and Luffy does break into Rouge's house because Rouge doesn't know who Luffy is. He breaks in with Garp, and that when Rouge comes out in the middle of the night, she sees Luffy and Garp sitting on the couch. She recognizes Luffy, but not Garp. She gets nervous, asking what they want. Luffy explains, "Hey, he's kind of Roger's old crewmate," and then Garp says, "Yeah, I'm kind of just someone who's chasing him around a lot." So Rouge gets to know them, and they say they're told the baby is born. So Rouge thinks about naming it like like Gold D Ace. Luffy explains with how some people would be. He explains that Ace is probably going to hate Roger, so he'll make sure that his name is he says he'll name him Portgas D Ace, and then he'll at least try to raise him properly and know what kind of man Roger was. Rouge thanks Luffy, and then she dies. Now that Luffy brings Ace all the way over to Fuchsia and raises him there. So yeah, now one day Shanks does come to the island and is said to catch up with Luffy, who he does call his old master. Shanks did get word where Luffy is from time to time and train him, and Shanks would come by to try to fight Luffy, see if he's stronger. Shanks came in Fuchsia for that one reason. He tries to fight Luffy, well, Shanks gets the absolute shit kicked out of him. It's not even funny. I don't want Shanks to consider Luffy for running. The amount of Kankataki is shot out of Luffy was ungodly. Covered the whole island. Shanks being almost put to a knee until he's kicked right across the face and knocked out. Now Shanks' crew never saw Shanks be beaten that easily. It wasn't even funny. They pulled out their guns, but all was futile because Luffy just dashed towards them as fast as possible, and he just began delivering fast blows to the face. By the time Shanks wakes up again, his crew is covered in bruises as well, and Luffy just laughing at them. He's sitting on top of the Lucky Roo, saying, "Hey Shanks, this couch is pretty soft. Also, your crew's pretty damn weak. You should find new crew members." Shanks just chuckles, saying, "No, you're just a god among men. Or you have godly power among normal men." He says, "If I know anything about you, Shanks, you're not normal. At all. And these guys, your crewmates, are definitely not normal either. But truth be told, they are weak." Eventually, Shanks and Luffy begin talking. Shanks talks about Gomu no Mi. And, well, Luffy looks at the devil fruit and tells Shanks to joke, like, "Oh, I'm immortal, so the rumor of two devil fruits possibly can't happen to me." And in drunken just joke, Shanks says, "Oh, go ahead, try it." Luffy does so, biting the devil fruit. Well, not Shanks. Luffy does so, biting the devil fruit. And Shanks thought it was like, I was joking, what the hell's your problem? But Luffy took a bite out of it, he passed out, but woke up 5 minutes later saying, huh? I'm feeling different. But then realized that Shanks was dragging him at the bar, and Luffy's arm was stretched halfway across the bar. Luffy just sighed, saying, I don't want to know what's happening at all. Shanks would nod, saying, yes, sir. Around a month later, not a month, like around a week later, Shanks leaves, and Luffy keeps on training Ace and Sabo, because he does train Sabo as well. And Luffy does get adapted to the Devil Fruit pretty fast. Blue Gem's crew is not a problem in the Great Terminal or anywhere, because, well, Blue Gem's crew was wiped out by Luffy the moment they set foot on Dawn Island. Like, they were wiped out the moment they set foot on it. So, yeah. So, I guess all we can say right now is just how everything else goes. Pause real quick. So, I guess just everything else that happened for normal. The Great Eternal Fire doesn't happen. Dragon does stop by Fuchsia or Dawn Islands just to see Luffy. Because, well, Luffy and him do have a tight bond because the Luffy sends him letters. But now I guess we go to when Luffy meets Nagari. Luffy and Nagari get on pretty well, and Nagari doesn't recognize Luffy from beating up previously. Now Nagari beat up Luffy beat the hell out of Nagari. Like, it wasn't even funny. But Nagari just asks how Luffy stays looking so young. He just says Devil Fruit powers. So, yeah. Then I guess we go to when Ace and Sabo leave. Well, when they leave, Luffy says goodbye, Dragon picks up Sabo, and yeah, so Dragon picks up Sabo, Ace sails out on his own, and Luffy does his own thing. I don't know what else to do besides just Luffy going out to sea on his own. Nagari already had the right idea, but he decided he's getting too old, so Luffy decides to do his own thing with Nagari's ship. And Nagari asks him to do his own thing out on sea, because the village don't need him anymore, they're prospering. Yeah, I don't know what to say. So, while Luffy's sailing out to sea, Luffy at this point would be around... Well, his age doesn't really matter. He's like 20 years younger than Brook regardless, so just subtract Brook's age by 20, and then you get Luffy's. And this is like, I'd say, 4 years before Luffy meets Brook in canonical timeline, so... Yeah, Brook's like 88, so... 84 by now, and that would leave Luffy at like 64, I guess. Now, I guess now Luffy, while he sails around, would stop at a few islands. One of the random islands that he stops at being Kokoyashi Village. So he stops by there because he heard they had good, they make Meekins. So he stopped by there because they tasted good. So, while Luffy's walking around the village, he does come across, he comes across a little girl who's crying. The girl has orange hair, while a girl with blue hair is comforting her. A girl kind of saw Luffy, who looked new in the village, just drinking sake while wandering around. It's noticed Luffy has somewhat of a drinking problem, but not really. He doesn't get drunk, and, well, with him being immune to it, kind of just is able to trick his taste buds and thinking that the alcohol tastes like really good. So that's what he normally drinks. So, yeah. So eventually, Luffy began talking to the girls because he has experience with little kids. And with that, the little kid line was weird. He had experience kind of raising and training up kids. So he begins talking to them, and Luffy's able to somewhat just, guess what Luffy just does is comfort them, and then they were able to leak everything because Luffy is just, good at convincing them. So now, once that happens, Luffy's able to just convince him he's going to fight Arlong, which he is going to. Only the fact that Luffy killed Wolf Kid's mom and doesn't know no one can get away with that. So Gen had heard Luffy said to little girls, and Gen doesn't believe Luffy, so he looks at Luffy's face real close. Gen remembered when he was younger, he loved looking at wanted posters. Gen, at this point, let me check how old he is real quick. At this point, Gen's 42, Luffy's in his 60s or 70s, or I'd go mid 60s to early 70s. So Luffy was a pirate 20 years ago, even before when Gen he was a pirate while Gen was still in diapers. So again, recognize Luffy, and then Fro saying, "You're Luffy. You're Straw Hat Luffy." Luffy put on a straw hat. Then he kind of wears kind of on a belt mainly, and again just says, "Please stay in our village, sir. We need you." He says, "Really, this is the first time I've gotten somewhat of a positive response for being a pirate." Genzo then says, "No, I should know that your crew wasn't just bad. He would say that they weren't terrorizing. Well, people claim you didn't terrorize anyone, so I'm hoping you're good." He just sighs, saying, "All right then," kind of backhand compliment, but it works. So he walks over to Arlong Park and he kicks down the gate. When he kicks it down, some pirates immediately rush at him. Watch real quick. So Luffy kicks on the door and eventually just joined by tons of fishermen who just heard Luffy walking up. They're kind of like a little nervous about it. Then the door kicked down and they immediately jump at Luffy. But in response, Luffy just yells "Gomu Gomu no whip," and just swings his leg, kicking them all into the water. Could be trying to use fishing karate, but Luffy, knowing tons of fishermen and fighting tons of them, he knows some decent amount of fishing karate, or knows how it works, then beats the living hell out of them. Well, just out of Kruby. Because Kruby's kind of amateur to Luffy. So Luffy lays him out. Then Hachi, Luffy's face against a better swordsmanship, so lays out Hachi as well. Luffy sees the layout of a single fisherman in sight, so lays to Arlong. Put out a giant sword and went to bite down Luffy, but Luffy held his jaw open with one single finger, and then kind of able to just throw him into the wall, then flick Arlong in the head as hard as possible, leaving a gigantic bruise and kind of cracking the portion of his skull. But Arlong wasn't just knocked out, so in response, Luffy just punches his face full force, accidentally killing him. Now, Genzo and the villagers were watching this. We're shocked to see that Luffy took down every single fisherman without even getting hit once. But Luffy just throws all the fishermen in the water, and some of them that were kicked in there earlier jump out, trying to attack Luffy, but are quickly just knocked out again. And Luffy kind of made the mistake of knocking them out in the water. They automatically filter out some of the water. Some of them almost drown and wake up, but they just retreat immediately once they're awake. So now I guess we're gonna go over, just Luffy leaving. He's supposed to leave Koko's village. Nami with Luffy, and Luffy kind of uses a little bit of the same tactics he used on, Whitebeard. Now Luffy is thinking the villagers owe him, so he says one thing: he wants to train Nami up to be strong enough to take down Arlong or another threat like Arlong. Genzo immediately says no, but Luffy explains, even if he doesn't want to train her, what can they do to stop him? And that's where Luffy's point is: they can't stop him. So that Genzo says, then make sure she's safe. Just laugh, saying, and no worries, she can send letters, anything, I'll even stop by for her to visit you. And so would nod, realizing Luffy's not a bad guy, it's just he was a pirate, so people thought he was bad by default. Yes, he did kill some Marines, but they attacked first, so he attacked back. But yeah. Now, Luffy eventually goes over to, what was it? So he goes over to another village by the name of Shimosuke Village, because, well, here there are island of warriors, mainly just hearing about the swordsmanship, and hopes they're better with other things. So hearing they're better of other things, he hopes they're better at other things, so as he just explores, looking for different things to buy, well, Koshiro would come down from the dojo, seeing a pirate ship at the bay. And we just see one single man and a little girl, and would point at Luffy, questioning who he is. He wants Luffy just pummels Koshiro into the ground, saying don't point a weapon at me unless you intend to use it. Now Kuina thought her dad would get back up because Kuina and Zoro think that Koshiro is, well, Kuina would probably be dead by now, so never mind. So Zoro just thinks that Koshiro will get back up because Luffy doesn't seem too strong. He looks at Koshiro, and Koshiro's really laid out, even bleeding from his nose and mouth. Students run down trying to attack Luffy, but Nami does get some training and just begins kicking them all down as well. And Zoro and Nami begin fighting. Nami loses horrendously, and when Luffy does, just slap Zoro across the face, saying, "Come on, don't hit my student." So yeah. So I guess that's all I can say. But now eventually Koshiro wakes up and he's in his house. While Zoro happens to be in the dojo, while Luffy just training him, Goshiro recognizes some of Luffy's skills. They're from Wano Kuni specifically. Goshiro would ask Luffy why he knows his techniques. Luffy explains. He's a really old man, a lot older than Koshiro is. Goshiro doesn't believe this, until Luffy holds a wanted poster. Goshiro would grab it and realize the one poster was dated back before Koshiro was even born. So Koshiro would realize that Luffy is a really old man, like 70s probably. Let me check this. So, at this point, Luffy, I overestimated his age. At this point, Luffy would be, I think he would be around 72. So yeah, Koshiro would just be shocked at how old Luffy actually is, and Luffy explained with the cruise he was on, he's well above basic swordsman and well way above Koshiro. Zoro would realize how fast he's growing and ask Luffy why he's so good at teaching. He's been doing better than Koshiro. Luffy explains, well, he's helped a lot of kids in training, pointing at Nami, saying, yeah, with her, he doesn't know how to use a staff, so he's teaching her basic sword techniques. But she's not strong enough to use Wano techniques. Only Zoro is. So she's learning the basics. Goshiro joins in, actually wanting to learn some of these techniques because he's never heard of them. What Luffy's doing mainly is teaching Zoro the Oden Nitoryu. And then Zoro's kind of making it into his own like Zoro Santoryu. Then you name some of the techniques from Oden Nitoryu. Zoro Nitoryu. I struggle so much saying Nitoryu. But yeah. But Luffy would just, until he's about to leave after like a month of teaching Zoro everything he knows, not like a month, it's like a year. Zoro learned everything Luffy knows, and Luffy could think off the top of his head. Luffy's like think really hard about like everything else he remembers, but he tried. So yeah. Now, eventually Luffy after like that 1 year would take out Luffy. Zoro and Nami. Koshiro would encourage Zoro to go with Luffy. So with that, Luffy takes Zoro and Nami. Nami got a lot stronger. And, well, once Nami learned how to get stronger, Luffy's next stop being, well, Syrup Village. So it's Syrup Village. As he gets to Syrup Village, well, it's nothing really special, so to say. Because when he gets there, this leads to I have 4,000 men under me. And Luffy calls him out, saying, don't worry, kid, I'm here with a message from your dad. But I'm going to leave it off here because, well, I'm kind of tired. So I'm kind of sloppy. But I'm going to say that basically we're going to leave it off with Luffy just meeting Usopp. But bye.